welcome to College Band Radio Live on this lovely, lovely Wednesday. I hope everybody is doing fine. As y'all can see right below there, we have a big announcement. But before we get into that one, Adam, where can these people find us if they want more content throughout the week?
You can follow us on Instagram at College Band Radio. You can subscribe to us on YouTube right here at College Band Radio, so you get that weekly live notification. And of course, you can follow us on Twitter, where we are College Band RDO, because as you remember, radio is one letter too long.
And if you ever forget any of that, just look above Hannah's head. It's just rolling up there. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button, smash the like button, ring the...
Hit those post noties!
Anyway, it's time to get into it, but without any further ado, we got a big announcement. Obviously, it looks like there's a corner of our screen missing right now. Without further ado, let's find out who is behind that wall. It is the one and only Rebecca Rosen, the newest member of the College Band Radio team.
Woo!
Woo! Woo! Rebecca, would you like to give just like a little intro for the good people of the world? Who you are, where you're from, what you play in band, whatever.
Sure. I'm Rebecca. Hello. I graduated in 2019 from the University of Connecticut. I was in the band and the pep band, marching band and pep band for 4 years. Played the clarinet, and I also used to run the media team, the UConn band media team. So all the social medias and YouTube and stuff like that. Yeah.
And we are happy to have you here. Anyway, let's jump into the first topic of the day. Jason, what do you got for us?
Unfortunately, this one's a bit of a heavy one to start out with, but it is about the Texas Longhorn Band and the playing of their school song, which is The Eyes of Texas. And I think what the news is that they're forced to play it, or I wasn't really sure how the article said, but they're one of the bands, like they have two bands, one of the bands will be forced to play it and one of the bands is not going to be forced to play it. What do we think? I think that's how it is, but I'm sorry for anyone that is like, that's completely incorrect.
Yeah, that's definitely the interpretation I got from it, is that it sounds like there's going to be a secondary band started. It's just, I think it's more in question, like whether they'll be officially recognized by the school. It sounds like obviously like numbers have really dropped in the wake of this announcement, so they're offering different scholarships and stuff to try and get people to get involved still, but it's not really gaining a whole lot of traction, which kind of understandably so, in my opinion.
I mean, like we talked about before when we talked with Michael about this. Michael, of course, being one of the co-founders of College Marching. A lot of the reason why they're forcing the forcing of the playing of the song is because of money. Like a lot of it is because of the donors, the donations that they'll be getting from the from different people to the university. I mean, they said that people were threatening to pull 7-figure donations. So that's $1 million donations they were threatening to pull from the university if the band didn't play the song. And as we all know, regardless of whether colleges are nonprofit or profitable, because, you know, that is a whole nother discussion, a lot of it was driven by money. So it sucks that this is happening for people that don't want to play the song due to its origins and things like that. But a lot of it has been driven by money. And if the donors want to hear the song and they're committing a lot of money to the university, they're probably going to play the song.
And for reference, for anybody who doesn't know the background to to what's going on down there, so the alma mater of Texas.
It's the fight song.
It's the fight song.
No, it's the alma mater. It's the alma mater song.
Is it the alma? I thought it was the fight song.
It's the alma mater. The Eyes of Texas. Okay, it has a complicated, I don't know what the right word is. A controversial, that's the word I was looking for, history, where the phrase "the eyes of Texas" comes from a quote from Robert E. Lee, "The eyes of the South are upon you." And so obviously Robert E. Lee, not exactly being, the most liked dude in American history. Obviously some people have some issues with what he was fighting for. I think it's probably a good idea to, maybe, my personal opinion, maybe let's leave the past in the past and find a new way to be proud of Texas. But also, you know what? Like, I understand the school being like, I don't want to lose those 7-figure donations because, I mean, that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so it's a very difficult, but also like the effect that it does have on people that, you know, that also definitely has to be taken into consideration. And I think, you know, I think the band was in the right when they made their choice in the fall to just, you know, stop playing it at first. But
I think, and I think something we need to recognize here too is that like a lot of band members are standing up. Like the way that band members have really stood up and been like, hey, like this is where we draw the line. We're not playing this song because it's not inclusive and not welcoming to everybody. I think that's really important, and that's pretty cool to see them do that, especially knowing like in the fall that meant the band didn't get to play at football games. That meant that a lot of them didn't get to have their season, and the fact that, and we all know how important like marching band is to us and is to a lot of students. Like the fact that they're willing to be like, you know what, like sure, I won't have a season, but I'm sticking by my beliefs and really standing up for like kind of what's right there. Like that's really amazing. I absolutely commend all of them for it.
Yeah, I think, and that's not going to stop either. You know, that's going to continue into this upcoming season as well. Because for anybody watching, the article that I looked at right now is by the Daily Texan, and it mentions with the formation of the two separate bands that new band will be formed in fall of 2022, which is actually not this fall, that's actually next fall. So there's going to be a lot of interesting development, I hope, because I know that this band isn't going to be quiet about it, because they're rightfully so very vocal about it. So, you know, all I can do is really encourage them to do so and, you know, speak your mind about it. And, you know, everything that you're standing up for is completely right. So,
but also if they have two bands, like, right, and it looks like one of the bands, the only like difference is like, I guess playing time would be a little different, and then one of the bands will not be required to perform the song. But if like, what besides the scholarship money, like what is stopping them from just not being in the band that has to play the song?
so,
You know?
See, and I think that's a great question, Jason. My interpretation of this is kind of that one will be like more of like the stands band, and the other, I don't know if they would remain on the field and be more traditional. I know, like, for example, like just for an example of like the layout that I'm kind of thinking it will be, and I know as much as the next person, obviously. Like the Iowa State marching band has the marching band, but also State Storm, and State Storm only plays in the stands. They don't march at all. So I don't know if it would be that kind of scenario where perhaps they don't have to play the Eyes of Texas, but then they don't get to be on the field. Right. And they might not get the same travel privileges, but once again, that's just me spitballing. I have no idea.
It'll be interesting to see how they distribute things across two different bands, and also how they distinguish between the two of them. Like, are they going to have the same uniforms? Are they going to get new uniforms for the new band?
The new band is currently unnamed right now.
So what I read on ESPN.com, they had an article about it too, was that it's going to be called the University Band is the new one. And so there's the marching band, which consists of the combination of like the Longhorn band and the University Band. So everybody marches, but then when it comes to outside of marching performances and whatnot, the University Band basically doesn't get any of those. You get to march, but you don't get the other things. If you want to participate in other on-campus events, then you're gonna have to be in the band that is playing the song. That's my interpretation of what I read. I, once again, might be completely off base with that.
Okay.
But
if they're
I did want to. Oh,
wait,
sorry.
wait.
No.
I was just gonna say, if they're keeping them all together to play shows, how, when they have to play the alma mater, is like half of them just gonna step off to the side? How are they gonna distinguish between who's in what organization?
I'm sure they'll probably if they're planning on doing it how Craig said, what I would assume is that they would just intermix them so that the sound would be evenly distributed, instead of it literally just being them, the band that's actually not playing it on one side and then the band that is playing it on the other side, because then it'll just sound really, really weird. I feel like they would probably do something similar to that, but I could be dead wrong.
I think that's another great point about logistics. I mean, like, at least at UNI, our alma mater right now, it's incorporated into our pregame show. So it's not even like I don't know how the layout is of the Texas pregame and halftime shows, but I don't know if if it's part of the show, do they step off the field? Do they just bring their horns down to attention and they just stand on the field? And then it's like the musicians who don't support, would they even want to be on the field or want to be associated with it? Because even if it's like, oh, like everybody has their horns up, they're just not playing it, they don't want to look like they're endorsing it either. So it would be
defeat the
interesting.
purpose.
My best guess would be that for pregame, only the Longhorn Band would come down, and then for halftime performances, that's where like the full marching band comes in.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah, that sounds a lot better.
A lot of schools don't even have their whole band march pregame. Like their pregame
or
is
halftime.
Yeah, I mean, or halftime too. But for this case where if we're just talking about the difference where like the alma mater comes into play, most schools don't have their alma mater in their halftime shows, unless they're doing like a specific like celebratory like school history show. But the way I kind of pictured it was that the university band would just stay in the stands during pregame. The Longhorn Band would be on the field doing it. Longhorn Band goes up into the stands. They do all their stand stuff during the game. Halftime rolls around, they all come down. Then they all go back up. And that's
instrumentation.
So they don't actually play the alma mater during pregame.
Do they not?
No, I just looked. Or at least,
maybe they'll just do a post game.
Unless this is like a single pregame where they haven't done it.
Well, I did want to say something in reference to at least personal experience with something similar to this. So at Maryland, I believe it was my sophomore year, there was controversy that arose with the state song that Maryland has, Maryland, My Maryland, which sounds a lot like a Christmas tree, but that's neither here nor there. It's just what it sounds like, if to just like any random person, just different notes and things like that. So there was controversial stuff that came up with that song, and a lot of people were opposed to it, especially the marching band itself. And the marching band our marching band, Mighty Sound of Maryland, just said, we're gonna nix this, completely and tweak our music to reflect that change, so that like we have like a pregame fanfare, which includes all of the music that we play during our pregame show. And with that completely out of it, then they had to tweak it a little bit so that it would still sound like pregame fanfare, just a different version of it without Maryland, My Maryland in it. And then we just took that song completely out. And we also had instances, or not instances, but during that season, because of what was going on, they allowed certain or basically before, I forget what game it was during the season, but our band director basically said that during the national anthem, anyone, if they want to, can kneel and play during the national anthem, or just kneel and not play. And it was up to them, up to the discretion of whomever it was. And that caused some pretty notable, just like news coverage towards it. Because I don't know if other marching bands have done something similar to that. So, as being part of something like that, I was thinking in the back of my head, well, why doesn't, if like people are angry within the band about playing that song, why don't they either try to edit the song so that it sounds different, or they use something completely different? Like Everyone Loves Deep in the Heart of Texas, or whatever the heck the name of that song is in Texas.
They already play it.
Oh, they already play. Oh, that kind of negates that purpose. But I mean, like, you can just play other Texas
Sandy
songs.
Cheeks' Texas song from SpongeBob.
Yeah, that could work.
Goodness.
Also, I did make a mistake. I did miss it. They do play The Eyes of Texas during their pregame show.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
I think that and that's an interesting point too, Alex. It's like kind of as we're like seeing obviously a lot of ensembles, and even like not even just marching ensembles, just different performance groups, they're really like, in wake of a lot of things that have happened over the past year, it's like taking a step back and really examining where a lot of this history came from and a lot of these things came from. And like implementation of changes isn't always going to be perfect, and it might not always be super fast, but I think the key is like change is happening, and then I'm just happy that like change is continuing to happen and is getting that traction moving forward. So I think that the situation at Texas is definitely one a lot of people are going to be watching over the next 2 years.
It's gonna be wild.
I think on that note, we kind of have talked all that we can about, this based on speculations. There's still not a whole lot of information about that. But let's see, we got a few other things. Jason, I know you also mentioned earlier in our little chat that you had some Indy 500 Purdue stuff to talk about. What is going on with Purdue in the Indy 500?
Purdue's gonna have a car.
What are you Purdueing?
Jason's driving the Indy 500, guys. It's happening. Jason's driving.
The train is in the Indy.
Oh, there we go.
Yes.
So as we all know,
Big bass drum.
Indy 500 is a big race, right, in Indianapolis. And the Purdue band has been the feature band for, I think, now 101 years. And we go every year. And this year we are planning to go. Usually we stay at Butler for the day before. And then while we're there, we have like a big parade in Indianapolis, which is not happening this year. They canceled that. But the race is still happening, so we're expected to be performing at all of our normal race day activities, which include marching around like a quarter of the track and then going into like the pit area and like doing a little concerts and music there. I don't know how that's going to happen. Anyone that is traveling, I think, is required to be vaccinated. Either that or I don't know if they're able to turn in the slip that says like I decline to be vaccinated and still be able to go. Like you might have to be vaccinated in order to go, but that's happening soon at the end of May. So that's very exciting.
How many people are they taking? Like how much of the band?
Usually it's volunteer, but I would say usually about half to 3/4 of every section will go. At least for my section, we have 15 going this year.
Are you going? I'm
yes,
assuming you're probably going.
I'm going, yeah. So that's 15 out of like 25, which is pretty good. I know the trumpets have 41 out of 60, which is 2/3. Yeah, but
so many trumpets.
It's pretty nice, and usually we have a pretty decent sized band. I think the number we usually have to bring is 8 coach buses in order to get there.
Jesus.
So yeah.
Do you know how big it actually is? Like, have you ever seen like diagrams showing just how big Indianapolis Motor Speedway is? Because it holds like up to 250,000 people before.
It's massive.
Yeah. It holds up to 250,000 people. Like it is stupidly huge.
It's big.
I think that's really exciting though, Jason. It's like it's just like another little sign like things are slowly starting to creep closer to normal or the new version of normal. So that's exciting, encouraging news for the fall.
I will say, it's really interesting and it's very encouraging, right? But we do have an entire freshman class who has still yet to march a parade. And like the way they march parades is like difficult because we have that low chair. So originally they were very nervous because the Indianapolis parade is very long and it's very tiring. So when you're in full uniform at the end of May, early June-ish, it's hot and a lot of people sometimes don't make it through the parade. Which honestly, if you don't make it, you get to sit in the back of the special, which is our official mascot, the train. So you do get to sit in the back of that if you don't make it. But like, we were nervous, but we're not doing the parade, but we're still a bit nervous because, they haven't marched in the parade yet.
I think that'll be an interesting conundrum, even like looking at the fall is like, I know this fall, like just about every single band in the country is essentially going to have 2 freshman classes. So I think that it'll be a learning experience for everyone. I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm a field coordinator this year for the PMB, so we teach fundamentals every year. So you teach everyone how to march. And I was like, hey, I believe my co-field coordinator was a freshman this year. So I'll be like, you know what? We'll teach the band. She'll get to learn how to march and she's staying there. It's gonna be awesome.
Another one of our conundrums is like the same thing where we have band camp, but a couple days before like official band camp starts, we have like rookie band camp, and we're like, people keep asking us like, if they're freshmen, like, do I have to show up to this band camp or do I show up to like actual band camp as a vet? And everyone's like, well, we think you'd probably just show up to regular band camp, but we're not sure. So excited to see how that works out too.
We
That's a
always
good point.
do,
New member weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we always do. We usually have leadership weekend and then color guard drumline move in 2 days early with leadership as well. But Monday afternoon is usually just like free time for vets when we really work. Like each section leader, the section leader teams will work specifically with their new class of freshmen to teach fundamentals before we like go over them as a full group. And I know we've had some freshmen be like, hey, like, am I gonna have to do that this year? Because I didn't like formally march last year, and we're all like, oh, we'll find out. We'll find out.
We'll get back to you on that.
Yeah, but I think it's a great problem to have, though. Like, everyone's gonna be back, hopefully, on fields. Hopefully, I'm knocking on wood on my desk. But
it'll be a fun, unique year, no matter
Jason,
what.
the most important question. The most important question: who do you have winning the Indy 500?
Oh, probably one of the race car drivers.
Oh, that's a good
McQueen.
pick. Did you know that Jimmy Johnson?
Probably Lightning.
Wait, did you know
best
Jimmy
guess.
Johnson's actually driving IndyCar now? Like he stopped doing
Jimmy's
NASCAR.
Johns?
I just
shut
remember.
up.
I only
I got
remember
Tony
him
Baloney
driving a
His
Lowe's car. I
Delivery is
think.
freaky fast.
Yeah, he was like probably one of the best NASCAR drivers ever, and now he's like, I want to do IndyCar, and I'm like, okay.
When we're leaving the racetrack after we've done like our performances and the races started, it's really interesting because the cars get up to full speed by the time we leave, and just to like being at track level and then watching them speed by is really kind of weird.
The
It's like
open wheel
experiencing the
vehicles
cars
are
moving.
incredible.
It's insane. It's really something incredible. I'm very excited to see it again.
The
I always
only
wanted to
race,
see a Formula One race.
the only races
F1
I've
is the
ever
best.
seen are part of the Cars cinematic universe.
Same.
So,
F1 races are the
important.
best
That's
though.
Most
true.
important one.
That's true.
Well, because I mean, you've seen domestic races, and you also got to see the World Grand Prix.
True.
in
Yeah,
That's
cars.
how exactly
international.
how it works too. They have
There were
like Formula
spies
cars.
involved.
Yeah, they have Formula
Ye-
cars going up against
Exactly.
like
Are we going
NASCAR,
there?
going up against rally cars.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
that-
exactly how it works, Craig.
Just your daily reminder that Cars 2 is the
Cars
best
2 is a really good
No,
movie.
It's
it's
good.
not.
I will
It
die
is
on that
good.
hill.
Cars
it
two.
is the
God.
best.
Thank you.
It's a totally
Thank
different
you.
genre than the
Oh
first
my God.
movie, but
I've
it's
never,
not a
I've
bad
never
movie.
heard so many people
It's
like
a great
Cars
movie.
2.
I really
It
enjoy
is
it,
the
especially when
greatest
when
part
Mater
of
has a
that
whole chunk of
Fantastic
wasabi.
Ride.
I mean-
and thinks it's pistachio ice.
Okay, let's be
My
honest here.
favorite
It's
part-
not as bad as the Good Dinosaur. Like, that's
It's a
just like
dinosaur, but I will say my
They don't
favorite
call it the
part
bad
of Cars
dinosaur.
2 Arguably, my favorite part of Cars 2 was the way in Cars 3 they acted like it simply didn't happen.
Yes,
That is
yeah,
that's the
that's
best
how most
part.
people acted
They were
like.
just like, yeah, we don't see it. Didn't
Or
happen.
you
know.
pretend the opposite is true. You pretend the first and the third didn't happen.
Oh,
And it's
that's
just a
First two is
second.
the only one.
It's
That's just incorrect.
The second was actually a spin-off movie.
Yeah?
It wasn't actually part of the universe.
Hey, I mean, we're not calling it planes out here.
Planes isn't
Oh.
even Pixar.
Is it? It isn't?
Yeah, it's not
That
Pixar and it's
explains
not
everything.
Yeah.
Just wait until they make
I
a boats
agree.
movie. Oh
Oh,
god.
Oh, there goes Jason.
Oh,
He's gone.
Trains.
Jason's
Trains.
gone.
You show up
Oh,
for a
Okay,
train.
Oh.
I'm gone. Don't worry. I'm back. I'm back. Don't worry.
There he is.
I knew the conversation was gonna get here eventually,
It's just
and
Sean
I was just
Decker
sitting here
in
like
chat
dreading it.
saying Cars 2 gets too much hate. Sean Decker, we agree.
no.
All of
This
us
is one
except for
person
Alex.
here
I
that's
am,
agreeing,
I
but
am
doesn't
the I am
agree.
the dissenting opinion.
Yeah.
And I'm
well,
completely
we'll-
fine with
Ears.
that.
We'll pull Sean on the pod instead. We'll just
Okay, that's
quick
fine.
little swap.
That's the new criteria.
Okay, that's fine.
to be
Appreciate it,
on
Greg. Love you too,
College
buddy.
Fan Radio is you
I have
to like Cars 2. That's the rule.
Oh.
I have a
New host.
PowerPoint presentation on why it is the best. It's
That's-
sitting in my Google Drive currently.
Honestly,
All right.
that's very smart. That's essential to have.
I could convince
Stay
anybody.
tuned for more.
Maybe at some point on a later live we'll have to
I
throw it
have
up
to give
there.
I'll
I
present
have to
it.
give a presentation in a final next week. So Savannah, if you could just share that PowerPoint to me, and I'll just give that instead of my media planning presentation. I think everyone
Sure.
would really enjoy it.
Sure, I
What
did it for
people
like one
want.
of those PowerPoint party nights or whatever for a Kappa Kappa Psi like
Why haven't we
bonding
done
night.
that yet? We need to do that.
That would be kind of fun
We need to do that.
for the
best-
future. But
The best way to do it is if everybody makes them, but you don't present yours. You pick like a name out of a hat and you present somebody
Yeah.
else's. That way, you don't even know what you're presenting about, and it's
Yeah,
just so
yeah,
much
but
fun.
if I
You
know
just
what
gotta
Savannah's
sell it.
gonna present, then if I get her
My-
name, I know what I'm gonna. I know
My
what I'm gonna
presentation
say.
is a comedy bit though. Like I like have to like full like prepare for it. It was like I have like one-liners like programmed into that PowerPoint presentation.
Did I make one saying why Sbarro's the best pizza place in New York? Like,
I would love for Hannah to have to present Craig's presentation on why Iowa should be axed from the United States.
Not axed,
flooded. I would gladly do that presentation.
Hannah's like, I don't want to read this.
I would deliver it with as much sarcasm as possible to imply that I do not.
So if I write it with as much sarcasm, then my sarcasm and your sarcasm will cancel out. Therefore, meaning sincerity.
That's not even how that works.
Shut up, Butler.
This is how I get a presentation on how Jordan Bohannon becomes the most punchable player in college basketball.
He's there again, right?
Yeah.
What?
Year number 6, he's back.
Yep. Him and there's somebody from Wisconsin. I forget who.
Him and Brad Davison, the guy who just.
He's gonna be a freshman. They're 6 years apart because they said when George Bohannon started at Iowa, this new recruit that's coming in was in 6th grade. I was like, holy crap.
Craig, just realize the reason why Davison is coming back is because he's not good.
Yeah. No, but like
he knows he won't make it.
I saw a meme.
Maybe he's just trying to have a good time.
That was
yeah. That's
just
basically
like
do it too.
It was 2 old men playing basketball, and the caption was when Iowa plays Wisconsin.
Well, think about it this way: if you were able to go back to school, and maybe you have to like do an easy degree that you're probably not. Like you're probably not even really
I would do it, but
as
like,
Craig as a computer scientist, but you're coming back. You might not even have to do a degree just to be in marching band. Like, would you do it?
Would I come back?
Oh, I thought you were talking about
thousands
basketball.
of dollars?
No. They're paying you to just come back and play.
If they're paying me, yeah, sure.
Wait, no, NCAA athletes don't get paid. Wait, no, you don't have to. You get.
Wait.
No,
you don't get paid, but they're not paying.
Everything
to be
cancels
there.
out. Thank you, Rebecca.
If my net payment is nothing.
Yeah.
Sure.
Craig, that wasn't very enthusiastic. Let's pass it on to Hannah.
Yeah, okay, here's the thing.
Well, see, I like having an income.
I'm technically getting a do-over year this year because last year was supposed to be my senior year with COVID ban. If I was graduating and they were like, hey, we'll let you come back in March for 1 more year. You don't have to pay for it. Whatever. I'd be like, yeah, I'll stick around for 4 more months in the fall. Are you kidding me? I love PMB.
What's really cool
I can
though
do that anyway because I have the victory lap. So
the year after this year though.
Sorry.
So okay, I'll go first, and then you can go.
Yeah, you go.
The year after this year is gonna be alumni band. It was supposed to be this coming year, but they moved it back because of the whole COVID thing. So it'll be interesting for like me to come back as an alumni with like all of my friends, my more recent friends that are gonna be coming back just because alumni band's fun, and we'll all see each other again. I'll be like. That's my story. Go ahead, Hannah.
I was gonna say, that'll be victory laughing. I already feel like I have this weird stage where I'm like 22, but I feel like elderly now. I don't know. It's weird. But one of my rookies told me as we were at spring band this year, he was like, he was like, well, how old were you in or what grade were you in 2008? I was like, I don't know, like 4th grade, I think. He was like, yeah, I was in kindergarten. And I was like, why would you tell me that? I'm so upset knowing that.
That's how I feel when I talk to half of y'all on the podcast.
Except for me.
Yeah.
And Rebecca.
Me, I'm the exact same age as Craig.
Yeah.
We're the same grade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Craig,
so
are you still the oldest?
I think so.
When's your birthday?
June 97.
I'm July of 97, so you beat me by a month.
I am still
Craig, there's not 97 days in June.
I was gonna say that, Jason.
I heard Savannah say it, and I decided to steal her joke.
That's a good dad joke. It's a good dad joke.
Now I'm
days
really
in
in the middle child of
Right?
this podcast now.
Hannah
There's
is
3 people older than
smack
me,
in the
3
middle.
people younger than me. I'm the middle
Wow,
child.
you are the middle Hannah, you're a good middle child.
Yes.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alexa
is-
play Middle Child by J.
Savannah
Cole,
is
but then
a
that wouldn't work.
Literal fetus. Sitting in
Guys.
Maybe not literal, but
She's also the
No,
youngest and
no,
also the
literal.
most furthest west.
Do we know about the
True.
other important thing that be happening this week?
am I
The
the
NFL
farthest
draft?
north?
Yes,
It's
that
my
be
last-
the important thing that's happening this week.
I mean, I would say that the more important thing happening this week is this live show.
Yeah.
I think this
Of
is more
course.
important than the NFL.
I mean,
draft.
to
And my
us
midterm
maybe,
Friday.
but to like tens of millions of football
Good
fans,
luck.
This is
probably not.
Oh, the
Yeah.
I had
giraffe.
my last day of class, so
The giraffe.
I can say that UConn probably will not get anybody into the
We might get a couple. Savannah,
Yeah.
did you say I thought you said the giraffe, and I
Yeah,
was like,
giraffe.
I did. I said giraffe.
Jason has hope with Rondale Moore. That's about it.
hey, and we also got this guy, Derek Barnes. He later
sorry.
rounds.
I think we
two,
have
but
two
especially
guys. We have
Rondale.
two guys in the draft.
Maryland might get one. That's it.
I don't
Go
even
Cats.
know if Rutgers has anybody.
Probably not.
Probably maybe one.
I think there's one or two guys, but I don't know.
There's gonna be I think there's gonna be 2 UW players going in the first round. So I'm like,
Oh, really?
Ooh.
yeah,
Are they what
Levi
are they?
Onzarike and Joe Tryon.
Are they
Ooh.
I think
OTs, DTs, wide receiver,
Levi Onzarike. Oh my God, is he? I don't know. Plays
cornerback?
defense.
I'll just keep naming positions.
I am not
Head
gonna know.
coach,
I just know that they
assistant
play
head
for
coach,
the
general
University of
manager.
Washington Huskies. They're not the
Ah.
coach, that's for sure. But
Huskies and Huskies.
Head
yeah,
coach.
go Huskies.
Finally,
Love
we have
that.
some
Go
dog
Huskies.
energy to fight all the Go Cats energy on this podcast.
Yeah.
Why would you want to fight the Go Cats energy?
Go boys.
Because Go Dogs.
Go Dogs.
Yeah, go dogs.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Hey, I say go Dogs when I'm not cheering for the Cats. When y'all
You guys a lot
Are
of
we about to
allegiances,
have like
okay?
a dogs versus
Here's the
cats
thing,
fight here?
Is y'all
Yeah.
never play my school unless it's in basketball, and even then, I don't think we played most of you actually.
Wait, I can check this.
The
So
last time Purdue played.
I
UW.
we played. I know we played Mizzou because
Here,
in
keep on this
UNI's
topic, I
first
got it.
tournament appearance in like the '80s, we upset Mizzou to go further into the tournament. I think that was
I
like my
do
one.
appreciate that UNI is purple and gold though. So
Thank you.
there's that.
I like the gold.
That's the thing. I proudly
purple.
have that Go Huskies pin or Go Dogs pin you sent me. I have that in
Yeah.
my little band shrine at home, so it's in a place of honor.
I'm so glad it's in the shrine. Wow.
I
Well-
also have the yeah. So for people on live, we did like a little fun CBR Christmas thing.
We
Did
did.
a little gift exchange, and Savannah sent me this super fun sticker too that has a husky and a little marching band hat, and that's on my laptop. So once again, place of honor, Go Dogs.
Hannah, the last time Purdue played UNI was in, it looks like the tournament first round in Portland, Oregon,
Ooh.
and Purdue won 61-56.
Oh
Okay,
wow,
what-
that's a
what
close
year
game.
was this?
2009.
Wow, that's very recent.
Mhm.
I didn't know we made the tournament in 2009.
UNI was number 12 and Purdue was number 5, so almost
Hey,
an upset.
Go Cat!
Hey, in 2017,
You're
you and I beat Rutgers in volleyball.
Hey,
series records. Okay,
No,
I'm gonna
I have
find
to
if
research.
Maryland played
Savannah,
them.
we were so close to having a Purdue
I'm doing
UW
very lucrative
face-off
research right
in the
now.
volleyball tournament.
I know,
And then
and then
just was
Kentucky.
like, no.
Well, so at least Kentucky won it
Okay.
all. It makes me
Yeah.
feel better that they won the whole thing.
Hannah,
At least we lost like the champions, you know.
I feel sad for
I
Wisconsin.
can confirm,
but yes.
Hannah. Maryland has played Northern Iowa once. November 24th, 2013, they won 80-66. It was at the Paradise Jam in St. Thomas.
oh, I forgot about those preseason
So
tournaments. I'm pretty sure
Maryland
Maryland
is 1-0.
I don't think
No one is going to
UConn
let
has
us
ever
into one
played
this
UNI.
Yeah.
I know UConn played Rutgers
Wait,
because we used
wait,
to
can
be
you
in the
check
same
that?
conference.
I googled UConn versus University of Northern Iowa, and it looks like maybe in women's tennis in 2018.
Oh my
Ooh.
gosh.
think that's-
Everyone against the Cats.
Yeah.
I can always just look at the record book and,
and
see what's
also
going
like
on here.
maybe softball. I think that's
Let's check the
I
record.
love
all we
softball.
have.
I'll check the
Savannah
record book
loves
just to make
softball.
sure.
Oh my
I
God,
love softball. I love
Rebecca,
softball.
we're playing UConn next year in football.
Oh man, maybe I'll have
I
to
mean,
go to that game.
Maryland played UConn in men's basketball.
If it's- Is it? Where
It's
is
in
it?
at UConn?
Oh, okay.
Well-
I'll have to go.
Whatever is Pratt and
Pratt and Whitney Stadium at Rensselaer
Yeah.
Field. That
I'm like,
is
that's not
the
not
UConn
here.
Stadium. It's in East Hartford. Yeah. Pause ARF.
That is not
All
Ross
right.
Aid.
I don't think we're playing Rutgers or Maryland next
No,
year.
because you're Big Ten West and we played you this year, so. And then
Yeah.
the
Well,
year
now
before.
UConn is not like in any league
The
because
only thing I
we
know
Okay,
is
have
that
Maryland.
American
Maryland
into-
played UConn in the
yeah.
tournament.
And Rutgers.
in basketball.
Yep.
My very first
Women's
Rutgers sporting
basketball?
event.
No, men's
Rutgers
basketball.
played UConn.
Should probably not check the score of that game.
In
This suggested
Wait,
Google
what did you-
search
what did-
says. Sorry.
Sorry,
Never
I didn't
mind,
hear
doesn't
what
matter.
Greg said. I'm just like,
my very first Rutgers sporting event in 2012. It was Rutgers football versus UConn, and we won, I believe, 19-3.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Rutgers was like okay at that point. We were like past their
UConn
peak.
is always bad.
We were
so.
past our peak there, but we.
Savannah, we're also playing Oregon State at home.
Oh my gosh.
I can confirm.
Oh, Beavs.
UConn
Yes.
has never played Northern Iowa. However, they have played Oral Roberts twice and lost twice.
No one ever beats Oral Roberts, though.
Apparently.
That's okay.
Except for, well, never mind. I don't remember.
No.
who beat them.
You know
Except
what
for
I figured
Arkansas.
out? The reason that I
Arkansas.
don't remember you and I being in the tournament in 2009 is because when I think of the tournaments, I always think of 2010. So of course, this one we beat Kansas. My favorite day of my
gotcha.
whole life. Oh my
Do you know-
gosh.
UConn's
You
not
know
good
football.
against Purdue. Ugh.
You know,
Oh,
football
for-
went 0-12 in
football?
2008.
1-4.
Just wanted to share.
Is that for football?
Oh no, this is for
Is that-
basketball.
Oh, men's basketball?
Men's basketball. Purdue is 4-1 against UConn.
Pretty good.
What
Hey,
about women's
speaking of basketball, how do we do in the standings? Did we announce that yet? I would just like to point out.
Talk about it.
I would just like to point out.
You know
that
why
I
you're
did
pointing
win.
it out.
No, I don't want to talk about it at all.
I got second.
Savannah, who got first?
Jason got first. I got second.
Not like
And
I picked
wait,
the team to go to the
last,
Final
or did
Four
I
and
get
then
second
lost in
to
the first round.
last?
Illinois
was
was
'cause
disappointing, but I still won.
Illinois ruined my bracket. Literally, the first day of March Madness this year, I was leading every single group I was in because I picked like some dumb upset. I'm pretty sure I picked the Beavs. That was one of my upsets that I picked.
Sorry. to
Beavs up, and I was leading my mid-major madness bracket, a group of like 300 or 400 people. I was living on top of the world, and then Illinois loses. Somebody else loses. I was like,
Ohio
oh,
State,
boy.
probably.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
I don't think
Ohio
I was
State-
that
No,
far.
Hannah doesn't like Ohio State. She's a
Yeah, I picked them to lose early
a
just because,
part-time
just out of
Wolverine.
spite. Just
I
out of
did too.
spite. Picked them
Little
to lose
little did you
early.
know that would be a good choice.
that was a very
It
good
was
choice.
a good choice. but,
OSU
like,
greater than OSU.
It's true.
But greater than OSU.
Beavs eat Buckeyes.
Yeah, it is funny how like when we're talking on the podcast with all of us here, when we reference OSU, we'll have 3 different OSUs
Yeah.
Yep.
because like the 3 of us,
Yeah.
the 3 guys will think of Ohio State, Savannah, and
No.
maybe.
I'll think of Oklahoma State.
Oh, I
That's
was
the most
gonna say
important state.
Annabelle probably thinks of Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
I'm
Mhm.
betting Rebecca probably thinks of Ohio State.
Yeah, I think of Ohio State.
Savannah probably thinks
Interesting.
of Oregon State most likely.
Oh,
See, I think of Oral Roberts University.
I was trying.
Go Beavs.
Go Beavs.
OSU.
It is not any more helpful that Oklahoma State and Oregon State have the same colors.
That's true.
They're both orange and
The
black.
Cowboys.
Like, literally, when I looked this up, it came up with Oregon State. Like I looked up OSU on Google, it came up Oregon State, Ohio State, Oklahoma State in that order. So apparently, Oregon State is the most relevant
Yes.
of the OSUs.
Wasn't Oklahoma State like the first Kappa Psi meeting or whatever?
I believe so.
Yep.
Thank you,
Interesting.
Oklahoma State.
Hannah almost messed it up.
I-
See, it's not
uh,
easy to remember names, Hannah. It's really difficult.
I just
I
realized
did
we
better.
now
See what other
we now have-
universities come up.
we now have a woman on the podcast whose name doesn't end with Anna.
Thank
Or
goodness.
does it have Anna in it?
Ends in the
It's Anna,
I'll
Anna.
never get Rebecca's name.
Guys, we did it. Reddit.
Glad to
That's
help.
so funny.
Trying to find another OSU.
Yeah, I just remember
school.
our meeting with Michael, and he was like, "Wow, you really do all have almost the same name."
We also are all wearing glasses. All 6 of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yo,
I
let's
love
get it.
it.
Mine
So you're
keeps
telling me
sliding
we
down my
collectively
Facebook,
on this
but-
podcast have 24 eyes?
Hold
Yeah.
on.
I thought you were gonna say 20/20 vision. I was like,
26
nope.
26
At least.
eyes.
So I can't find another OSU school. I mean, Craig just said one. I'm trying to find another.
There's
one
already
I
too
can't
many.
Yeah.
Okay.
find. 3 is too many.
There's probably
Yeah.
another one.
Anyway.
Did you guys see that? Like,
I always think of,
oh wait, sorry.
I always think of Ohio State when I think of OSU, just
Yeah.
because I was like raised following the Big Ten. But I also sometimes I will think of I think of Oregon State a lot because go Beavs, and but I also kind of think of Oklahoma State because I follow the Big 12. So because it's like I don't like I followed the Big Ten for Michigan. I don't like University of Iowa for sports generally. I like their gymnastics team; they're pretty great. But then it's like Iowa State's in the Big 12, and I like Iowa State, so I follow them too. So it's just, I'm a mess of conferences.
Don't worry,
really.
I found another
and the Missouri
OSU, guys.
Valley Conference, of course, the most important conference. What's
Wait,
the
Jason,
other
what'd you say?
OSU?
It's, I'm sorry for all the German people of the world. It's Osnabrück University.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
1974 in Northwest Germany.
They have
Do
a
it.
band.
Yeah, do they have
Probably
that's the
not.
most
It's in
important-
Germany.
Wait, did you guys see what happened with Ohio State?
Band.
About I think that they trademarked, like I swear I saw an article
No,
saying that
I saw that, and that makes me so angry.
Yeah,
So late.
They
so
never
it's
got it
legit,
back
right?
after they lost to us in 2018.
Yeah,
Exactly.
as you may remember, to the winners of the
Mhm.
the Purdue University.
If we
No,
pass it
Purdue
around though,
lost
the
to
first
somebody,
person,
so
it would be, I think Michigan State was our next loss.
Yeah.
So then whoever
The
Michigan
Oral
State lost
Roberts
to that,
University.
I think it might be back to Ohio State actually.
Probably is.
The Oral Roberts
Upsetting.
University.
Ohio State.
Rebecca, it's all in German, so I can neither confirm nor deny that they have a marching band.
We'll never know. Probably not.
Yeah, based
We'll just
on
live in.
based
we
on
don't
my
have to-
basic
we can assume
understanding
that
of
they might.
German culture, I'm assuming they have some sort of a musical ensemble on their premises. But
Concert band,
maybe, or even just like some basement German rock band, but they definitely don't have a marching band.
Craig, did you know that French horns are actually German?
Yes, I did. I learned that.
Fun fact of the day
my
for
very
everybody else.
first French
Fun fact.
horn.
Why would they call them French horns
day.
then?
I don't know. Why do they call them
Because
trumpets?
The original horns.
Oh,
I don't know.
were French, I think.
I don't know.
But then the modern French horn is German.
Craig,
Mhm.
Craig, do you want to know the all-time record that UConn men's basketball has against Rutgers?
Not really.
Okay, I won't tell you because it's not good.
Yeah, I didn't think it was, so that's why I said no.
Yeah, it's
You
not
know
good.
something funny is that I'm always like, oh, go Beavs, but sometimes I think about oh my gosh, what if the Beavs beat us at least once? And
so
I'm like, will I
upsetting to think about.
stop? What's gonna happen?
Oh.
When we played Oregon State this past year, so we played them in the fall. We only played 4 football games, but we did play Oregon State, and it was an awful game, really. And it came down to some calls at the end. I was really contemplating everything right there. I was like, am I gonna stop? Do I have to burn the shirt? What's gonna happen? So I
That's
just
what
want
happened
everybody
to-
to know that they're on thin ice, but I do appreciate them.
I had a similar crisis with Valpo. Valpo is one of my favorite school in my conference. That's not you and I. I love them so. Their fans were really nice to us. They're very nice to the Pep fans. I was like, I'll be a Valpo fan. Valpo is generally not super good because I don't remember if they just came to D1 or they just came into our conference. But they got pretty close to beating us this year. I was getting a little nervous. I was like, what do I do now? I just not cheer for Valpo?
I can confirm Washington against UConn men's basketball because I'm just looking through all-time series right now. Washington is 0-5 against UConn.
Sounds about right.
I will.
Not
I will
surprised.
say though, I think
Huskies versus Huskies.
Huskies
Savannah,
versus
I think
Huskies.
our teams are the only 2 teams that have played each other in the Rose Bowl.
I don't know if UConn's
Did
ever
you
been
play
to the Rose
Mizzou?
Bowl. I don't
Rutgers,
think so.
I know, has not.
Yeah.
Maryland hasn't.
Well, historically, the Rose Bowl is Pac-12 versus Big Ten.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, except for when
So-
TCU was in it.
Just saying, we
Did
didn't
you
win,
know
but I'm just
that
saying.
there's, if you look it up, there's archived videos of the Husky band performance through the Rose Parade and the halftime show at the 2001 Rose Bowl, and I think there's a couple clips of the Purdue band in it. If you looked it up on YouTube, 2001 Rose Bowl, maybe Husky band or
I
something.
found the 1967 one.
You know what's lame? Going to bowl games.
Let me
Why would you
find it.
ever
If I
wanna
can
go
find
to
the
a
link,
bowl
I'll
game?
send it to
I
you.
think
Excuse me, Hannah.
Yeah,
I think
see,
it's
that's
silly.
the that's how
think it's lame.
UConn
I
is
think it's
too.
lame,
We-
yeah.
You
What?
just don't want.
Bowl games are
Don't go
overrated.
I got one. I got to go as a freshman, and then never again. They never
Hey,
won more than 2
Imagine
Rebecca, that might be me.
ever,
one season.
Ever
Just go to the
not
NCAA
having
tournament
your
basketball.
winter break to spend it with your friends and family, not
I know.
at a bowl game.
Imagine.
Rip Craig.
Just go to the NCAA tournament in basketball.
We
waste
did.
your
I didn't
spring
get to
break.
go.
It was lit.
I gotta make the
I-
band.
Yeah, they only take 30 people because pep bands are capped at 30 people for
Yep.
travel.
I did get to
Yeah,
go to the women's basketball NCAA tournament a couple years ago when we played at UConn, but we played Buffalo at UConn.
Oh, you played like in
So-
stores?
Yeah.
Or did you play at the XL Center?
I don't know. It was in
Was
like,
it in a
the
big dome
yeah,
thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the
P word.
on campus at UConn, there's a Gamble Pavilion, which is for basketball, but then they also sometimes play in Hartford, which is not a dome-shaped building.
No, it
Less
was-
It's
exciting.
just an arena.
It was a
I
nice
love
big
domes.
arena, and then we went and we lost, and then we bussed back.
Yeah,
to
did you see
Jersey.
cows? Did you see any cows while you were at UConn?
I don't think so. We just got on the bus or got off the bus, went right in, and then came right back out. But we did see some buffalo on the court and from the band. Shout out to the Buffalo band. Y'all sounded great. It was fun. I honestly don't really remember what you sounded like. I'm just being nice.
Are you talking about Colorado?
No, University of Buffalo.
Like Buffalo,
Buffalo, New York.
Great. Yeah, okay.
Savannah having
It's
a
like,
crisis
good.
in the
Imagine not having like a northeast like centric mind.
No, I live in the ocean. I live in the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Imagine
yeah.
not being
I
from New
live in
Jersey.
Yeah, honestly, imagine not being from New Jersey.
The amount of New Jersey on this podcast is getting out of hand.
It is.
It's
nearing
incredible.
50%. And
Has
on the
Maryland-
live,
we
it
need to
is
get more people from the
50%.
Midwest.
Has Maryland
Hey,
never played
I live in the
basketball?
Midwest, so like I kind of cover that base a little bit.
I like monopolizing the West Coast. I like that I am the only one
Everything-
Taking your
Worse.
claim.
Everything west. of
Savannah's the West
Missouri
Coast
is just
queen.
Savannah.
West Coast, Westland.
Dubs. Anyway, I think it's probably time to wrap it up. It's running on 50 minutes right now. Any last words before we end this for the night, everybody?
Go Cats.
Craig, do you want to know what Maryland's record against Rutgers is in
You all
basketball?
knew that.
Not really. Anyway,
Okay, it's
on
not
that
good.
note,
Go Boilers.
on that note, Savannah, where can these lovely people find us when we are not live?
You can find us on Instagram at College Band Radio, Twitter at College Band RDO, and then Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you listen to the podcast, just search College Band Radio and you'll find us.
We got a great episode coming out this weekend. It's gonna be a hoot. Make sure you give it a listen.
Listen to our previous episode, our pro
Yeah.
bands episode. It was great.
Yeah. And until next time, I don't know. Have a good week. Something.
Am I
I
saying
don't
it? Stay safe, stay
I don't know.
healthy.
See you
Please wear a
later.
mask, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
Good luck on
Catch you on the
finals.
flippity flip.
Get
Good luck on
vaccinated.
finals. Get vaccinated. All that good stuff.
Get
Bye.
vaccinated.
Raise up.